So thank you, Ramaswamy, very much for meeting with us. Could you tell us, to begin with, how you started your interest in yoga? What promoted you to?
Actually, I used to practice yoga when I was young. In fact, most people in India do that. My father used to practice with a book, Mysore yogi or Bangalore yogi called Sundaram. He used to get that book and practice. I used to watch him and then do along with him. But later on in the mid-50s, Krishnamacharya, he came to Madras from Mysore, and then he started teaching a few places. And one of the places he was teaching was in the college where I just completed my high school and had started going to college. So he used to come there and then teach after class hours to a few students. The principal, my father used to know the principal very well, and one day the principal suggested to my father that he may probably try to get the help of the yoga teacher in the college. It was called Vivekananda College, run by the Ramakrishna Mission. His name was, Krishnamacharya, and then so my father met him and then invited him to come and teach my brother. My brother was slightly handicapped, So
your brother was older brother?
Yeah, older brother. So he started coming to my house and then started teaching my brother. My father used to spend time with them to help my brother during that. And then slowly he himself started learning yoga from him.
Your father started learning
along with my brother. Then my mother, then myself, my sister. So the whole family we studied with him. He used to come at around 7 o'clock in the morning and leave by about 8:15, 8:30 in the morning. And then during that time he will teach all the 5 of us, including my brother. Of course, naturally he will spend more time with my brother. But then this went on for a number of years. I think he used to come, this was going on for about 4 or 5 years or so. Thereafter we started, I and my father, we used to go to his house early in the morning to study.
So if he was teaching all of you, did he have to teach different things?
Yes, he will play different. He will ask my brother to stay in a posture for about 2 minutes or so. Then he will ask my father to do a few movements. Sometimes me and my sister, he will give the same instructions. So it will be, he will manage very well. He will manage very well, and all of us will be kept busy. So this went on for a number of years. And then later on, once I started studying with him, then later on I found out he was not just an asana teacher. He had a lot more to offer than a few physical exercises. And then that was good. So I met him when I was about 15 years old, and then it continued until about I was close to 50. So
yes,
yeah, it's a long association with him.
And of course, during that time, a 15-year-old boy and a 50-year-old man, there's a lot of transition.
Yes, a lot of transition. It was good. It was good to study. For the first few years, it was all asanas. He will teach pranayama also along with that. Then subsequently, he started teaching a lot of Vedic chanting. I spent a lot of time studying Vedic chanting with him. Then he started teaching the texts like the Yoga Sutra, Sankhya Karika, and then he went on to teach the Upanishads. So it was a different subjects. And then during the later part of my study with him, there was not so much of asanas. It was mostly with the study of the scriptures and study of the chanting of the Vedas and all that. But still, I will still have some asana classes with him. It was a great opportunity.
Fantastic. Do you feel that his approach to teaching, do you think that changed, or do you think that developed? Or?
No, I wouldn't. So far as asanas practice is concerned, I think the way he taught when he started, and then all through the time, it was virtually the same. The same procedure, the same breathing along with the vinyasas, the number of vinyasas in different postures. I never found any change in the way he was teaching. But then he will adapt this to individual requirements. See, he will teach an older man in a slightly different way. He may not teach all the vinyasas as he may teach to a youngster. So, the way he will ask them to practice, and then depending upon the condition of the people, Some people are older people, obese people, they come. So some people were sick. So he will modify the practice according to their requirements. This is something which is unique in his teaching. There is nothing like, everybody has to do the same thing, which is it is what is happening in the modern practice. Modern practice, you go to a yoga studio and then everybody, whether you are young or old, whether you can do it or not, all of them do the same kind of routine.
I think Steve described it as, if you only have a hammer, you treat everybody as a nail. I thought that was
right.
One tool and that's it.
Right.
But Krishnamacharya was very...
Yeah, the reason why he could do the but he had the what do you call here, the resources.
Yeah.
No, he had about 700 vinyasas, 150 asanas, different breathing practices. He had a working knowledge of Ayurveda. All these things put together, he was able to design a program on a continuous basis, progressive basis too.